Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Resident Evil 5. You may notice that it says control scheme change to controller every time I start. That's simply because I'm pressing the... you gotta be a little careful here with this crocodile. I'm pressing the keyboard to trigger when I start and record. And every time I press the keyboard, it switches to keyboard input. And then I press the controller and it goes back to controller input. I don't think for a second you would want to play this game with a keyboard and mouse. No medallion there. I thought there might have been one. This is a slightly interesting level in where it places the medallions, because without some help, it's going to be rather difficult to find what to shoot and where to shoot. Alright, we've got the map. And there's just a B button for get on, and Chris plays the game like Chris drives, and I know there's some medallions out here that I can't get because of that. I don't want to spend too much time. For the most part, this is an open and empty part of the game too, with a few connecting sections. I suppose it could have been that throughout the whole game we would have gone via speedboat, whatever these are called. I want to call it the hoverboat, but I know that's not right. Now, the question is probably going through people's mind: why am I not just playing the game right and going to where the map is telling me? Well, if you go to where the map tells you, you just find out that you need all the keys, and so I'm just saving time. Yeah, it's almost like a sniper range, with the exception that I can't find anything to shoot. This village is, if I recall correctly, actually a little bit more difficult. And grenade. Break these skulls of monkeys. There's actually quite a few things in this area that doesn't get reused in Resident Evil 6. That's a little surprising. I would have imagined that they would have tried to squeeze every single bit into the game, even if it didn't make any sense. Hand-to-hand combat. Shooting an enemy will give you an opening for hand-to-hand combat. Seriously? When you shoot an enemy, arm, head, leg will determine the type of attack you can unleash. You can start with a hook, twist kick, or twist kick for Sheva, and chain it into other attacks. You can alternate between attacks and chain up to 3 of them in a row. So hook, knee, haymaker. Well, I never saw that work. I didn't know you could do 3 in a row. Now, in most games, shooting a chicken is a bad thing. In this game, maybe it is too. Or maybe it will prove to be exactly what you want to have happen. And eventually, we're gonna move into this village, and we're gonna get attacked. see. There's what we need. And there's what we need. And it might... I don't think I'm gonna get attacked by a chainsaw guy or anything super difficult. And Chris will have to do all of the saving because only Sheva can get thrown up. Take note, we haven't really had to slice through any of thing twice. In RE4 you had to do this every time because a snake might jump out and attack you in a pot or a crate. Here, not so much a problem.
Give me an egg.
Take this.
We'll eat that egg. And then... here we go. It's strange that there are lines of dialogue at the beginning of the game where Chris clearly could have said something. Instead, it's just text on the screen. Yet, give me an egg was something that they had time to record.
Give me a hand.
So we're just desecrating these sacred things on a very possibly dead culture now that they've all been turned into zombies. So which one do we want to go for? Left or right? I think that was a treasure. And you can see she was pre-programmed to grab the items rather quickly. They're introducing a new group of spear throwing enemies that like to jump. Let's baghead guys for no reason. Like, the concept of a bag-headed character implies that they started mutating, didn't want other people to see that they were mutating, and so they put a bag on their head. Then everybody else got mutated. So we've got some shield bearers, but it's not metal shields. It's not like bullets are going to be reflected. But they turn into a new heavy carcass enemy. And you've got to kill this guy because he will kill you in one hit. And I missed terribly there.
Help me. I owe you one.
Like, this guy.
Come on,
Roger.
go!
Okay.
We're both about to die. Like, I can try and run towards her, But she's about to die.
I owe you one.
And that kills me.
You need to be careful.
Suppose we could run. But what's the point in that?
I need your help. What I need.
Hold on.
Thanks.
I kind of feel like the game took pity on me. That really did feel like the game was taking pity on me and gave me a whole collection of items and bullets. So let's switch her back to cover mode.
Thanks, partner.
Give her guns.
Give me a grenade.
Take this.
We'll take the grenades. You definitely need to know the trick of upgrading the capacity of your guns to get more weapons on normal, or you're not gonna have enough bullets. And you've seen every time we stop that my accuracy is not terrible. This is way higher than a 50% accuracy scenario. I'm getting things that I'm getting in the 60s, 70s, 80s. Can she hit him? Is it worth me letting her hit him?
Slow down. It's hard enough to shoot as it is.
You wanna hit him? And see. There's a bug right there. So she got that. Which I'm happy for that. A lot of this map though is just empty space. Except for this. This has another beetle and some bullets, which I'll take those bullets. Nice. And this that I believe we have to run up here to get to. So now you've got a rocket launcher. That is the one rocket launcher. There's like a rocket launcher in Resident Evil 4. You're gonna save it probably for the final boss. Or, you know, there might be the second to last final boss that you want to take on. you're certainly not going to waste it because there's a guarantee of no other rocket launchers that you'll be able to get. You'll probably be able to purchase one for about 10,000 gold or whatever it is, but that's the only real option. There's some fish. So I said it last time in Resident Evil 4, there was a section where you could jump down and get fish. Here, not so much as collecting the fish, it's collecting the gold from the fish. Which, fair enough. Honestly though, that is kind of a wasted effort. They could have just taken the texture from RE4 of a fish. Assuming any of that is compatible, which it's very possible. Nothing is compatible from RE4. And that's why you're playing as Cressy Redfield that looks different from every other instance of Cressy Redfield. And you're not seeing many returning textures from RE4, if any. However, the exact opposite occurs later on in the Resident Evil 6 because RE6 is just the same characters. I think it's fair though to say this game as a series gets a little boring. Like, if you're going to try and play all of the Resident Evil series, well, first of all, 1 through 3 is going to feel different, and then 4 is going to be the probably best experience you're ever going to have, and then 5 is going to be slightly worse than 4, and then 6 is going to be a major disappointment, and then 7 is going to be just a whole different thing. And all the other side missions are going to be different things. We came through here, or didn't we? Yeah, this was the first place we started. Trying to see if I can perhaps see all the way from here. It is there, but the float is very high. He's not holding his breath or anything. I think the odds of hitting it are too low. Like, I would have to have that red dot right on it. Wow, that was really lucky. Really, really lucky. Almost certainly I have missed some of the medallions, but I imagine the number's not going to be really high. Did we go through here? I think we started here. I'm wondering if I'm in a section I never go to, or if I'm just being silly. Yeah, this is the whole alligator section. Right. Nope. We're gonna get attacked. This chapter feels like it was made by a different team because it's effectively 3 sections. They could have been linear point A to B sections, and instead are very much open worldish. It's an experiment in open world design, for sure. These guys have things on their chests, exposed hearts, which make them easier to shoot at. If you can get them to face your gun. I am so poorly organized. Frankly, I'd prefer to at the moment I would prefer to have less guns and more room for bullets. But once you start upgrading all your weapons, it makes more sense. Because then you have like almost a ridiculous amount of storage. There we go. This is ridiculous.
Thanks, partner.
I need ammo.
Take this.
I need ammo.
Take this.
I should have sold the proximity mine. Like, I'm gonna request this proximity mine and we're gonna use it. They don't even call it a proximity mine, they call it a grenade. There we go. It's uncertain if anybody else is gonna appear. I bet not.
You grab it.
Roger.
Jumping through doorways. There definitely are some run and gun mechanics in this game that I would not be happy with being in a modern Resident Evil game. They were slight experiments that became very large experiments in RE6, and the further they went down that direction, the less it felt like it was a Resident Evil game. Alright. I'm going to give you this.
Thanks.
And I'm going to give you this.
Thanks, partner.
I'm going to take this and this. And I probably could sell the rocket launcher for 10,000, and maybe I should. That is certainly something to think about. Alright. Put all those bullets in there.
I need ammo.
Press these bullets. Put all those bullets in there. Yeah, you spend more time managing your inventory than you do playing the game. I want to just make sure I looked at every angle. I think we did. And no medallion to hit. So 4 is the minimum number of encounters you're allowed to have in a level. That would be my guess. I didn't even see the beetle there, but I vaguely remembered there was one there. There's a possibility that there's quite a few I've missed.
You steer. I'll shoot.
She is a good shot. All of a sudden. Like, she used very little bullets to get through there. And I believe we can just roll over these guys and run into that, and that didn't even hurt us.
Careful, Chris. You'll capsize us.
Not too bad. While this level has some flaws and it's kind of simplistic and it's kind of short, it actually is probably the most memorable level in RE5. It's something different, and just by being something different, it is something that's slightly remarkable. I keep missing and I'm wasting bullets on that. I could have just done that. And I don't see anything here. Let's check our inventory. Alright. So at any point I could have come here and checkpointed. No combining in the inventory like RE4. That's fine. In all actuality, that feature in RE4 was underused and probably waste of programming. Alright. And I think we have really no reason to have the map on. There was a section in RE4 very much like this. I've said that a lot of times because, well, like I said, RE5 is just a almost carbon copy duplicate of RE4. It's just different characters, slight changes here and there. Honestly, that's all I would have wanted. Like, if RE6 had just been yet another carbon copy of RE4 and it was slightly better, I would have been cool with it. I'm looking for snakes. I could neither one of those dropped anything. No crocodiles. Maybe shooting crows in this game is a waste. I don't think it is, though. And so we're entering an area where we're going to take on some more fights. And so we're kind of going back into a city, but not the cities that we've been seeing. I could have used a flash grenade there. Probably should just sell the flash grenades. Oh yes, and I was going to use this proximity mine to try to get rid of it. Anyways, it's been another 30 minutes. The weird thing that I do have to admit, and this could be my fuzzy memory or it could just be the way the game goes. After this section, I know we get into a lab section, and at the lab section I think we get into the final boss fight. I think we're close to being 2/3 of the way done with the game, and it's kind of strange how it all plays out. But no, that can't be right. There's got to be like an underground cave section, I think, before this. Yeah. And it's funny. I like RE5. It's a good clone of RE4. It's not as good as RE4. Nothing will ever be in my mind for this style of game. But it is very, very forgettable. Very, very forgettable. That's it for this series. No. That's it for this recording. The only reason I would rage quit the series right now is if it just started crashing, and it's not doing that. It's running perfectly fine, and I'm amazed at that. That's it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend to follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.